Just really at the end of 2024, Illinois NREC became an official member of the Illinois Sustainable Ag Partnership Group. And we are really excited to be part of that. And this is really a group that's working to better understand conservation practices and promote their implementation on farms across the Midwest. Helen VanBeck is a Midwest Program Manager for American Farmland Trust, where she works closely with partners across Illinois to advance the adoption of conservation practices that are proven to build soil health, improve water quality, and support climate resiliency. Helen earned her Bachelor of Science in Environmental Policy with an emphasis in sustainable agriculture from the University of California, Davis.
Thanks, Julie. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Yes, as Julie mentioned, switching gears a little bit, I'm not a researcher. There's no box and whisker charts in my presentation, so we'll take a break from some of that. But yeah, really excited to be here today and to share some of the work that we've done to create some farmer-facing resources through the Illinois Sustainable Ag Partnership. So to introduce the group, if folks aren't aware, we're a nonprofit made up of 18 member organizations who are working to promote practices that improve soil health and protect water quality. This is just kind of a quick glance at our membership, and as Julie mentioned, NREC officially became a member last year, so we are excited to continue working with them more closely on some of our efforts, and yeah, you can see the sort of breakdown of the rest of the membership there. And this is sort of our core strategies and our desired impact as a group. We're really focused on increasing awareness among farmers of the economic value of conservation practices, really aiming to serve as a clearinghouse for soil health and conservation drainage resources and education, and see the adoption of conservation practices across Illinois. In the hopes of seeing Illinois agriculture reach the goals that were established in the nutrient loss reduction strategy in 2015. And so we're really excited about our newest tool, the Financial Incentives Database, or FIND tool, as we're calling it, which is an online database that lists over 60 financial incentive programs that users can filter down to find the program that works best for them by sort of limiting the results by their geography, so which county they're based in, what kind of production or operation they're running, and what practices they're interested in receiving payments for. So I have a couple slides just to walk through how quick and easy it is, and hope that people will take it for a spin and share any thoughts they have with us, but also sharing it with the farmers that you're working with, make sure that they know where they can get payments for some of these practices. So this is kind of a snapshot of the tool on our website. And you can see there that you can select by state and county. We really built out the tool specific to Illinois, so down to a county-specific level in Illinois. But a lot of the programs, like Farm Bill programs or some of the other larger climate-smart commodity programs, are available in multiple states. So you can also get a list for other states if you're working in other states, but it won't be as specific down to the county level as it is in Illinois. So after you've completed that question, then there's two other questions. One is around your current operation, so asking if farmers are growing row crops, if they're growing specialty crops, or if they have livestock on their farm. And then the third question is to ask what kind of practices they're interested in using. So they're sort of organized by in-field, so there's cover crops, reduced tillage, nutrient management, as well as edge-of-field practices that we know have nutrient loss reduction benefits as well. And if you're interested in a full list by county, you can also select all practices that pop up. So in this sample, I've just got a row crop operation in Sangamon County looking at cover crop incentives, and from over 60 programs included in the tool, that filters it down to about 28 programs that farmers can look at. That's still a pretty big number. All of the programs on the tool are sort of assigned an icon based on where the funding source is coming from, which we know is sort of an important decision-making factor for a lot of farmers when they're thinking about what incentive programs they're interested in enrolling in and what kind of entities they want to work with and who they want to share their information with. So the programs are sort of organized in 4 categories of carbon market programs, programs that are receiving public or government funding, and then there's sort of 2 categories for climate smart commodity programs. Some of those are also playing in the carbon market space and some aren't. So we wanted to make it clear for farmers which ones are and aren't. And as I'm sure we're all fairly aware, a lot of funding from some of these sources, specifically climate smart commodity programs and a lot of the publicly funded programs, is sort of has a big question mark right now. So it's been a evolving space over the past couple of years as we've seen carbon market programs come on and off the market, and it continues to be sort of an ever-changing landscape as we're thinking about where some of this funding is coming from. But then each of the each of the programs on the tool has its own program page that has pretty detailed information. So this is kind of a snapshot of what, like the National Association of Conservation Districts, their incentive program, and it won't all fit on one screenshot, but we've got sort of 4 categories of farm eligibility, money information, contracting info, and technical info. On each program. There's also a website link that goes straight to each program so farmers can get in contact directly, and it's easily printable from the website. So we like to share that our goal in putting this tool together is really to just facilitate data sharing and make sure that it's easy and clear for farmers to find what programs are available to them. ISAP as an entity doesn't promote any specific program or have any real stake as a group on which program farmers choose. We just want to make it easier for them to do it. And then I want to share appreciation for the Illinois Soybean Association, which provided funding for development of the tool. So that's the Find tool. As I said, encourage folks to take it for a spin. You can find it on our website. This is the URL. And then there's a couple other resources and tools and things that ISAP has been working on that I wanted to share. One is the Illinois Cover Crop On-Farm Network, or ICON as we call it. This is a monthly webinar series that ISAP hosts, where we bring together farmers and farm advisors and researchers to talk about cover crop related topics. We also post a recap blog following each webinar, and all of the webinars are posted on our YouTube. So that's a great way to stay up to date if you miss the call. And we have been trying to think about how to sort of spread that knowledge even further. And there's a few specific resources that have come out of some of the call topics. So last year we did a series on soil tests and soil health tests, and thinking about how you should use your soil test results in your management decisions. And we developed this resource, Digging Deeper, a comparison between a standard soil test and a Haney soil health test. And I have some of these 2 pages with me, and I can put some out at the table if folks are interested. But yeah, a good side-by-side, and that, I guess, second page there kind of shows like what the actual results from your soil tests look like and what kind of things farmers should be considering based on those results. We also recently released a cover crop seeding methods guide. So do a quick count there. I think there's 9 cover crop seeding methods in the guide, and sort of talks about pros and cons and considerations that farmers should take for each of those. So that's a handy guide and resource. And then last year we also published a 2-pager on the 2023 biennial report that came out of NLRS. Just with the acknowledgement that those reports are quite long and lengthy, and wanting to sort of synthesize the information down to what farmers need to know and what farmers can do to help us move towards those goals. So it's a nice, simplified way to communicate that, and I have a couple copies of those too if folks are interested in looking at that. And then the last one I'll share is our conservation story map, which has been around for a couple years now, but we really developed it to try to showcase all of the conservation efforts that are going on across the state. And the tool, or the map, has pins that represent demonstration sites, farmers, researchers, service providers, and conservation professionals in our network that are working on conservation. And users can filter the pins on the map based on those categories, as well as specific practices and outcomes. So would encourage anyone who is either a farmer in the room who's doing conservation practices and would be interested in being listed on the map and potentially contacted by your neighbors to add your own pin to the map, as well as folks who are doing, and there's obviously a lot of researchers here, so if you're interested in sharing some of your research, this is a great way to do it. Then I'll just put a plug in for our newsletter. If you're interested in staying up to date with some of the resources that we're putting out, we send out a monthly newsletter with sort of updates as we're developing some of these resources. And we'll also invite you, if there's information that you would like to share, if you're having a field day or if you're looking for farmers to participate in a trial, we're always happy to include some of that stuff in our newsletter. So I will stop there, and feel free to get in touch. This is our website and email. And yeah, I'll be around today, and like I said, I'll drop off some of those resources at the table out front, but happy to answer any questions.
Thank